Hi, this is a quick answer to a question about how to add an employee to EBO Pro. When you first come into EBO Pro, you'll always end up on your dashboard. You want to go down to Employees on the left-hand side, click Employees. It'll bring you to your employee listing. From here, if you're under Employees, when you click the big plus new over here in the blue on the top left, you're going to add an employee because we're on the employee screen. So you click the plus new. And here's where you're going to put in their names. So you're going to put in their last name first and then their first name. Put in their FedEx ID if they have one. And then you want to put in their starting date, starting status, email, phone number, address, any of this information you have. If you want them to receive the email to welcome them to EBO Pro and then be a user, you would keep this checked. If you just want to add them but they're not going to have access, then uncheck create user. You can check or uncheck enable for text messaging. Put in any personal information that you want. If they're a driver, leave this box checked. If they're not, uncheck it. If you have more than one company, you want to choose what company they primarily work for. If you're doing an external user, you would choose the external company here. And then you want to pick their main domicile that they work out of for you. If they work out of more than one, then you want to put a supported hub. So you'd want to give them access to all of them. If they're a manager or back office, you might pick administrative, and that would give them all the hubs. But if they just work out of a couple of your hubs, you might just do two hubs here. So fill out as much information here as you want to. Check create user if you want to invite them to use EBO Pro. If they're not going to have access to it, then uncheck that so it doesn't send it to them. Then you have these other tabs across the top. So you can choose to fill those out right now, or you can come back later to fill those in. When you're done, you always want to click the save at the bottom middle to leave the screen. You never want to just leave the screen by hitting another button. It'll prompt you to ask if you really want to leave. If you say leave, it will not save any of your changes. So always leave the screens clicking save at the bottom. If I go to position, if they're a driver, then I've left that checked. If they're a driver plus a manager or instead of a driver, something else, then you want to come down here to EBO Pro roles, and you would pick, back office, lead driver, manager, mechanic, any of these other roles, and click save. So now this would give them a little more permissions if they're under manager. You don't need to fill out this direct manager position. I would leave that blank unless you really just want to limit the view of this manager. And this section up here is if you're doing shift, if you wanted to have shift work on your scheduling. Regulatory, you're going to fill in the CDL and med card information. Wage would be their payroll information. And then attachments, you can put in any attachments to the employee that you'd like their CDL, their med card, and a compensation form. Anything you want to put in here, you can either click here to go find the file in your computer, or you can drag and drop them in your computer, or you can go on your phone, and when you click attach files, it'll give you the option to take a picture. So if your device you're using has a camera, it will give you that option. That's how you set up a new employee, and then you're just going to click save at the bottom, and it'll come back out and you'll have that employee there. If you just set up part of it and then you want to come back to it later, you're just going to click on the name of that employee, or you can click on the three dots next to the employee and click edit. This is just a shortcut of different things that you can do inside the employee file. But if you click on the employee's name, it'll bring you back in here and you can make any changes that you would like. Also, if you chose not to create the user, you didn't want to give them access, but then later you decide to give them access, you're just going to click on those same three dots and it'll say create user right here instead of reset password. If you've never invited them, it's going to say create user, and it'll pull up and you'll just send them the welcome. If you've already sent it to them once and they lost it or they can't find it, when you click on it, it'll say reset password. So just click on reset password. It's the same box, you're just going to click resend welcome and send. And then they'll get the welcome and it'll walk them through how to sign up for EBO Pro. That's how you add an employee and give them the proper permissions. Thank you very much.